Yeah, I hear you. I got the diapers, I got everything, I'm on my way. Oh my gosh. Do you know that these kids, they poop a lot? Some babies, you gotta change their diaper like 6 times a day. My baby girl, it's 12 times a day, which means I freaking feel like I live at the store doing pamper runs all day long. And you might be wondering, Kris, can I even afford to have kids? I mean, it's so dang expensive. Today I'm gonna talk about those expenses, but I'm gonna talk to you about how you make the kind of money so that you'll never need to care. Check it out.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Oh my gosh, can I just tell you, kids, like, are these things expensive or what? Like, it's diapers like crazy and all of this stuff going on. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're watching today's video and if you're a subscriber, listen, I'm a dad. I got 4 kids. I understand the cost, because guess what? I'm not even a normal kind of dad. Like, I put my kids on a private jet and I have private teachers and we go across the country and world with me educating them on everything. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I get that it's expensive, but I'm a huge believer in family and the things that create fulfillment in life. So I got a mission today. Number 1, I'm gonna educate you on the cost of all this crap. We're gonna talk about how worthwhile it may or may not be. And I'm gonna share with you some hacks on what you can do to make sure that you can easily afford the family of your dreams. Listen, I'm not a new dad right now with newborns, but I was once upon a time. And I gotta tell you, for me, where I come from, family is really important. I actually come from a family of 9, and I think I have a big family today. I've got 2 boys, I got 2 girls, and now I have 2 teenagers, and my youngest is 10 years old. And I gotta tell you, I kind of call the decade that I'm in the decade of dreams, because this is my last decade with them before they move into a level of adulthood where our relationship is gonna change. And so my wife and I, we got married. We had all of these goals and dreams of what we wanted to teach our children and what we wanted to give them. And we designed a life for them that is far cry from normal. But we knew that to make these dreams come true, we were gonna have to make different financial choices. You know, I meet a lot of parents out there and they're struggling to make ends meet. And you know what? That means that kids sometimes feel unaffordable, or it feels like, how am I gonna actually give them the things that I want? There's some people that delay marriage till later in life because they don't even know if they can take care of their sweetheart the way that they want to, which is why I got an early start on the game of money. So you might know me as like the guy who's made all of this money in real estate, owns all of these businesses and has all this success. But don't forget at the end of the day that the driving force for wanting to succeed was my family.
I don't have friends. I got family.
I'm gonna tell you that I have worked hard to create the family life that I'm enjoying today, but this is me literally as a brand new dad for the first time with my baby daughter. And I gotta tell you that some of my most precious life memories come from being there at the formation of family, because this is where all of our dreams were ignited. Sometimes we live in so much fear and scarcity of, hey, am I really gonna be able to provide for my family, that we lose sight of these goals and dreams, or we transform them and we minimize them. And then before you know it, your most valuable asset is gone. Time, the time that you needed to make the right kind of real preparations to live the life that you've wanted. And I've got some good news for you. I don't believe that it takes a lifetime to become wealthy. I believe that if you have the right information and the right steps, that's something that you can achieve in a matter of a few short years. So if family is important to you and you're just trying to financially find a way, pay attention. Check it out. There are 3 major factors that you need to be aware of when it comes time to prepare for that baby or babies, and here's the very first one. It is housing, and this comes straight from Investopedia. The largest expense associated with raising children is housing. In fact, that's just not kids, I mean, just your life. Like, housing is the number 1 expense that people have. According to the 2020 study, the average household in the US spends $21,409 a year on housing. Meanwhile, data from the Census Bureau shows that the median household income is only $67,000. That means that families are spending up to 32% of their annual income on housing, which means that when you work hard and here's your income for the year, we can divide this up and basically say, hey, here's a third of the money that I make, and boom, it's going towards housing. That's a huge expense. By the way, in my personal game plan, that's the whole reason why I got into real estate investing the first time, because you always benefit from the trade that you master. And I got into real estate because I didn't want to pay to live. The second factor when it comes to raising a family is food.
Oh my goodness, I have so much food.
These things, they eat a lot. And I swear, sometimes they are bottomless pits. In November 2021, the USDA found that families of four spend between $855 and $1,400 per month on food. Going by the median household income of $67,000 mentioned earlier, that could represent as high as a 25% expense on your household income. I got a third of my money sitting over here for my housing expenses, and now I have another 25% that is going towards food. So food and housing is now eating up a lot of that money. Is there gonna be enough left over? And let's talk about one of the other really big expenses. Who's gonna actually take care of these little creatures, right? I mean, if your spouse stays home or one of you do, then that means that you're gonna miss out on some income that you could have had with a dual income earning house. Instead, check this out. How much you pay for childcare depends on the number of children that require care, and then, of course, the age of your child and where your family lives. According to the Economic Policy Institute, the cost of childcare ranges from $5,400 to $24,000 annually, which could equate on average for about 22% of your median household income, which means, here's the other part, look at what is left over. Look at how much money is going out the door. Now, obviously, you need a house anyway, so some of that's gonna go towards that. It's not like the children need all the food, a lot of that you're covering for, but the childcare, that's a pure expense that you can directly correlate to raising kids. Bottom line is you've got 32% maybe for housing, 25% for food, 22% childcare. That's like 79% of your total income. And in 2015, the USDA estimated that the average cost of raising a child to 18 was $233,000, which means over those 18 years, you're spending somewhere upwards around $250,000. They estimate that the lifetime cost of raising a child born in 22 is gonna be $272,000. So I got 4 kids. That's $1 million, right? $250,000. And so it kind of begs this question. If I make $67,000 a year and over a working life, I make, let's call it $3 million, and $1 million of that goes towards 4 kids, man, I just literally used, of all of my earning years, I used maybe a third of all the income I ever made, and I put it towards raising a family. Is that a good thing, a bad thing, a stupid thing, or a smart thing?
I'm stupid, you're smart.
Well, there's good news and bad news. Let's start with the bad news. These percentages are estimations. They do not account for expenses like transportation, healthcare, insurance, clothing, hobbies, school fees, vacation, college. If you're going to financially support your child through college, you should know that the average annual cost for public in-state education is $22,000, and private, it's $51,000 a year. So up until this point, you're thinking, geez, Kris, thanks for convincing me not to have a family. Not so, my friend. I think it is important to be aware of the realities, but you know what? Family might be a part of your dreams like they are for me, but you've got other dreams as well. I want you to think of dream vacations that you want to take. I want you to think of some of the places in the world you want to travel to, or maybe there's a house in a location that you've dreamed of owning. Maybe there's a certain car that you'd like to drive. The truth is, whether you're going after materialism or whether you're going after memories, these things cost money. And most of us are not just financially unprepared for family, we're not really prepared to meet our goals and dreams, which means that kids is not the problem. The lack of financial education is. And I hope that you're a subscriber, because where I'm about to go is I'm gonna share with you 5 things that you need to do to financially get your house in order. It's not about setting money aside for family. It's not about setting money aside for goals and dreams. It's shifting from being a consumer to an investor. In other words, instead of valuing the next thing that can be purchased, your goal is to learn how to make your money work for you. And if you can get on board with that, frankly, you can write any check you want. You can have any number of kids that you want. You can meet your goals and dreams. You need an upgrade to your financial game plan. So I gotta tell you that what you're looking at right here is what brings me my most worthwhile joy. You're actually looking at my motivation. I feel very, very, very blessed because I went on a 5-year journey where I didn't buy a single luxury thing, no items, no nice cars, no nice house. What I did is I worked hard when I had almost none of this greenback, and I invested it as wisely as I could. And I made that core to my financial philosophy. And you know what? I bought a house and it bred a second house. And that meant that we lived for free in the first one and earned $600 a month on the second one. And my wife said, that tastes good. Let's do that again. Let's go get some yummy. So then we bought 10 houses. We bought 20 houses. 25 homes later, we had a 6-figure residual income. And I was able to quit my job. And the freedom meant not that I never had to work again. I had one child at the time, and you know what? I tried being retired for 6 months, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stare at my baby that doesn't even know how to walk. All she does is poop and eat and cry and sleep. And I could only find so much fulfillment. That meant that I needed to find a way to leverage my time to create other fulfilling things in life. There is a right amount of time for me to spend with my wife and for each of my children to create these amazing memories. But I have value to create in the world. I'm built for creating value. I believe you and I are as well. Some of us are stuck in dead-end jobs that we don't feel very passionate about, and that's gonna restrict growth opportunities. But I'm gonna tell you that if you learn the investment game and you learn how to make your money and put it to work, there's a benefit that it gives you. In time, 5 years, 10 years, you can get your money working so powerfully for you if you have the right map, the right blueprint, that you can afford the things in life that you want. I want to tell you about the number one dream that my wife and I had. Do you remember what it was like to fall in love with the one? You know, for me that happened 20 years ago. And this woman is not just my best friend. We created the most outlandish dreams. And those dreams for us really meant that we wanted to see everything. We wanted to have it all. Not for the sake of materialism or just owning stuff, but we wanted to be able to earn powerfully and give back powerfully. And today we've got a private foundation that is near and dear to our heart, that is doing the work of emotional breakthrough for families that are struggling, for our school and education system, beautiful souls that need to be reintegrated into our society. And that's what really moves our heart. At the same time though, having the money to take my family on crazy trips and to see the world and to build these memories. We call Friday Field Trip Friday, and usually that means we take the jet every week somewhere in the world to go create a one-of-a-kind memory. And this Saturday, actually, we're gonna move Field Trip Friday to Saturday. We're gonna go to San Diego and we're gonna visit one of our teachers from a couple years ago. He's gonna take us surfing, and man, we're just gonna play. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna make beautiful memories. Sometimes they're highly educational trips. The bottom line is that when my family needs me most, they get me. And we have a very specific way of showing what that looks like. Now, I can afford, frankly, a lot of luxury in life, but really all of these options that I have, they're because I decided to use my family as fuel to prioritize being a really smart investor instead of a consumer. And I have a gift for you today that I believe will help you on this journey. There's a book that I wrote that just came out, and it's called Have It All. And it is my magnum opus. It summarizes my life's work on everything I've learned about money. And I share a perspective that no one has out there in the world. It's not just fresh. It is for today, our modern day that you and I live in. This is how the wealthy are getting wealthy faster and quicker than ever before. There is a strategy. It's a 5-part strategy on exactly, if they can only save a little bit, what do they do with it to enable and empower them to live the life in a few short years that they really want. This book is all about stop being scared, start being prepared, and it's basically 5 steps to this roadmap to becoming a self-made millionaire. Again, not for you, for your loved ones. And I'm gonna tell you right now that I don't just gather any ordinary person out there on the planet. Let me tell you what I know about you. This might freak you out a little bit. But I know that in your heart, rather than having more things, more stuff, if you had more money, I know that what you do with this, you wanna pay off mom's house. You wanna help family members out. There's give back that you wanna do. There's memories that you wanna create. You would prefer mobility over more stuff. You're looking for flexibility. You're looking for freedom. You're looking for owning your destiny. And if that resonates with you, my friend, click the link below. Get a copy of that book for free. You do got to cover the shipping and handling on it, but other than that, I'm going to give you this book as a gift, and I'm going to promise you that when you go through it, it is going to open your mind. It's going to show you that you can't afford those kids. You can't afford that family. More importantly, you can afford the goals and dreams that you want to experience with them. Click the link, get the book, get the map. Okay, here we go, little guy. We got to make sure we take care of you. burp you, feed you, poop you. It's been a while since I've done this. You have to bear with me for a second here. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay, we're gonna call you little baby Benjamin. All right, check it out. Listen, if you're looking for having a better life, you get to have a copy of my book. It's gonna teach you how you can afford the family that you want. And also, if you're interested at all in how to get your wife on board or your spouse on board or your husband on board with investing, because you're like, let's go for it, but you know that they're maybe a little bit more reserved. I made a video with my wife that I think you'll like. Share it with them. It's right here. Heads up, you want kids, so check it out. There are 3, James, I have to reference the slide. I will look at the camera, and then you're gonna show me the factor. I could hurt Weber if I do this again. Thank you.
It was so good.